Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online and welcome to Daily Current Affairs session. So we have articles of 6 articles, mostly of factual. So there is no concept as such to make you know. So most of them are factual, but yes, we have a very good important data. First one, H5N2. So this is a bird flu, right? So we have discussed H5N1, just the same thing a few days back also in this May month, but still this is a little bit different. We'll see this as well. So this is part of science and technology diseases. Next one, antimicrobial resistance. Again, part of science and technology diseases, right? Diseases as well as health. Next one, women in Lok Sabha. So this Lok Sabha, we have a very good article related to the data related to women. You will see the questions on factual elements as well. How many people, how many women have selected, what is the increase. So those things, if you are writing the lower level of exam, that will be there. And also there will be question, you can also use the data in mains exam of civil services, right? So this is part of polity. Then Environmental Performance Index, a report, rankings was there, and India is also one of the least performers. So this also we will see, this is part of environment. Then Arundri hydroelectric project. So this is part of international relations as well as economy. Then QS World University Rankings. So this is part of social issues, education, right? Then factual pointers and practice questions. So these are the articles that we are going to cover today. I hope my voice as well as video is clear. A very good evening, Srinath and Malini. Welcome to the session. So let's see, it won't be a big session as such. We will complete in half an hour, right? So first one, about H5N2 virus, or it is a bird flu as well. Recently, just yesterday itself, World Health Organization said that a person in Mexico has died because of this H5N2 virus, and this is the first case of a person death because of this virus. So this is the first confirmed human case related to the H5N2 virus, right? So this is about the context. Now let's see what actually is this H5N2 virus. This is nothing but a bird flu or avian influenza. So it is a type of virus usually in general found in the birds, right? We have H5N1 also. We have H5N3, H1N6. So there is a different combination. All these are strains of virus. So within a birds, we have a different types of strains, that is virus. So those are all have a same impact, but yes, a little bit different, right? So this is a bird flu or avian influenza, virus A. So this is nothing but a virus, right? So it is mainly affected, as we have seen, we have just discussed, that is mainly affecting the birds, right? Wild birds, and very, very rarely it also can be spread from birds to humans as well, right? So very important, it is not a communicable disease, like from humans to human it won't transfer, but yes, from birds to humans there is a possibility of spread, right? So H5N2 is a subtype of avian influenza like other strains. So let's take example like H5N1, how the same mechanism, we have a different strain, that is N2, that's all. H5 same thing. Now we need to know what actually this H and what actually this N and what is their impact. So that is also important for us, right? So here H means hemagglutinin. It is a protein. It is a protein on the virus which will enable to its replicate, right? And the N is called as neuraminidase. So it is an enzyme. It is an enzyme which will allow it to enter into the other persons or other species. So there are two things you need to know. Hemagglutinin, it is like a protein which will make the virus stronger and enables its spread. And then neuraminidase, it is an enzyme found in the surface of virus which will enable them to release from the host cell. Usually this is located in one particular cell of any species which was attacked. So this enzyme will push to shift this virus from one region to other region as well, right? So these two are the ones which you need to remember, and there are number of strains. H5N2, H5N1, H5N5, H5N6, there is different combinations are there, and they do have the same impact. Approximately 18 different hemagglutinin variants, and then 11 different neuraminidase combinations are there of virus which can affect those species, right? So this is the fact. Now, the context is H5N2 has the first reported in the Mexico itself. It was first reported in the Mexico, right? So this do have treatment with antiviral drugs. There is no vaccine as such that we have developed, but it do have drugs, that is medications. Like you no need to worry, these are the medications which can be used to cure those diseases, right? H5N2 or other avian influenza as well. So you just need to know the context, which virus was recently reported for the first time in the humans. They may ask you H5N2, and what is this H5N2? It is nothing but a virus with a different protein and enzyme combination. So you can see this diagram and how they can spread from birds to the humans. It is not human to human transmission possibility, right? There is no such possibility. So that will be sufficient for our exam, right? I hope this is clear. Very good evening, Sahana and Keshav. Let's move to the next article, that is antimicrobial resistance. Antimicrobial resistance. There was a big article in the Indian Express that scientists are able to study the antimicrobial resistance. So they are able to know, not completely, but yes, they were able to extract something which may be useful for future, where we will be able to contain the antimicrobial resistance. Now, what is this antimicrobial resistance? So that is important for us, mainly from this particular article. This is a situation where the strains, microorganism strains, it can be virus, it can be bacteria, it can be what you call protozoa, anything like any microorganism, fungi, parasites. So any of the microorganisms which can resist the existing medication is called as a antimicrobial resistance. So there are some drugs, but these microorganisms can able to resistant. Usually after using this medication, they have to die. But because of the continuous utility and because of various reasons, we will see the reasons also, these microorganisms are able to resist this medications, antimicrobial drugs. So that situation is called as antimicrobial resistance, right? AMR. Fine. Now, in 2019 alone, the data which we are having as of now, even alone in 2019, there were approximately 5 million human deaths. That means 50 lakh human deaths were alone reported because of the antimicrobial resistance. So a very, very concerning condition, right? So Indian Council of Medical Research has also given the data that they were able to, these cases are every year increasing 5 to 10%. So that is the impact that we were not able to manage this antimicrobial resistance, right? So understand the definition. Now let's see what are the causes with related to it, right? How does this resistance spread from one person to other person? Why is this being spread? Because of travel. For example, you went to USA and there was an antimicrobial resistance in your body, and that was carried to India into your family, something like that, right? So through travel and antibiotics used on humans, we are taking the dose, like if the doctor has recommended it for 10 days continuously, we are doing it for 2 days and then we are discontinuing it, right? So because of that, they were not able to kill, but they were able to suffer in the initial stage, but after 2 days, it was stopped. So they were able to resist back. So if you could able to use that continuously for 10 days, then yes, they might have already killed. Because of this misuse of antibiotics, we are able to sustain this antimicrobial resistance among the humans. So whenever the doctor is giving you the dose, you need to complete it. Then only you will be able to kill those, or else they will replicate. They will resist those medications, right? And then we are uncontrollably using in the animals. We don't know what exactly the impact. We are using a lot of medications for increased productivity and all. But because of that, the strains, the same strains which are in animals may spread to the humans also. So if they were able to resist there, humans can be easily resisted. The microorganisms in the humans can easily be resisted. So this is also one of the causes. Similarly, antibiotic pollutants, so we are throwing the medications and all. So those bacteria which are residing in those waste also able to resist. Similarly, import of livestock from other countries, we are importing a lot of livestock as well. So that is also a concern, right? Now, what can be the solution? How can this be prevented? This is a very important thing to be understood. So clean food and water. So you need to boil the water, you need to have a hygiene condition. In such conditions, this virus or bacteria cannot able to replicate. So they will be easily killed, right, when the medications are used. So this is one important measures to take. Responsible use of antibiotics, as we have seen, that you need to take the continuous dose or in a proper dose given recommended by the doctor. You cannot take medications without recommendations. That may also lead to AMR, right? And then vaccination, communication on health issues, so proper communication with the doctor, exact communication or exact situation of yours has to be expressed so that the correct medicines will be given, right? Similarly, clean and hygiene condition, health system, the hospitals and all should be clean in nature. So if you do all these things, then it can be contained as well, right? That is about the antimicrobial resistance. You just need to understand the definition and then you need to understand the causes and how can it be prevented. So that can be asked in the exam. Next one, a very important data we have from Indian Express, directly copied from the Indian Express itself, right? So you all know that recently the Lok Sabha elections has completed and it was constituted, new house was ready, right? Of course, the Prime Minister has not taken the swearing in ceremony, but yes, all the MPs were elected, right? The representation of women in incoming Lok Sabha, how it compares to the previous year. So a very good data was given in the Indian Express with the heading of this particular article. Now let's see, there are total out of 543, the total seats that were conducted with the elections was 543, and out of that 74 were from women, right? Rest of all the people were from men, right? So 74 were elected from the women, right? Women were of 74. So this is 4 fewer than 2019 in the compared to the last Lok Sabha election. See, they may give in the statement based also that compared to the last Lok Sabha election, women members in the Lok Sabha has increased. Something like that they may ask. So actually there was a decrease of 4 members, right? And then 52 more from the first 1952 elections. In the 1952 elections, it was just 22, but we have increased it to 74 currently, right? So that is important data. And the total percentage of women in the 543 is 13.63%. Much less than what we are targeting. We are targeting at least 33% reservation for women in the houses. The bill was also passed, but after 2026 demographics collection, so this bill will come into the picture and 33% will be reserved for women. But this is just 13.63%, a very important data. So you can see from it was given clearly in the Indian Express about from the beginning, first Lok Sabha elections, it was just 4.4%. So you have to remember, because it is the first Lok Sabha, you need to know the data. Only 4.41% of women were part of this Lok Sabha. And last year, you have to remember, last year once is the highest ever recorded in the Lok Sabha women percentage in 2019, that is 14.36. Now it again dipped. It again dipped in 2024. There is a decline in women members in the Lok Sabha compared to the last Lok Sabha elections. And 2019 was the highest ever recorded of women percentage in the house, right? And this is the composition again given. The highest women members were coming from BJP, 31 members, then followed by Congress, 13 members, then Trinamool Congress of West Bengal, 11 members. So these 3 parties were having the highest women members. The rest of all the parties are almost negligible, right? That is about the data related to the women in the current Lok Sabha, the recently elected Lok Sabha. Fine. Very factual in nature. You just need to remember the facts. There is no concept as such to explain you. Next one, Environmental Performance Index. Environment Performance Index. It is a report. It was a report of 2024 given by LA Center or LA University in the USA, right? So it has been released. The rankings are very, very important. They have been asked many times, but anyway, before that, let's understand what actually is this report? Environmental Performance Index. It gives the report or rankings based on the performance of last 1 year. It is published for every 2 years. It is not published every year, it is a biennial, so it is published once in 2 years, and it calculates the environmental performance of all the countries. Alright, so they take lot of indicators. They have approximately 58 indicators they take, and 11 issue categories they take, like waste management, air pollution, right, and water level, water pollution. So there are total 58 indicators. You don't need to remember all the indicators, only the number is important. 58 indicators, and they rank the countries based on their performance. This is a biennial index, that is also important, released once in 2 years, right? And also this was launched way back in 2002. So year is also important. It was launched way back in 2002 by the World Economic Forum in collaboration with the ALA Center and other Cambridge University. There are a few more universities not required, but currently World Economic Forum is not very much associated with it. All the data, everything is taken care by the ALA Center, right? ALA University in USA. Now the ranking is important for us. Like whatever you are writing engineering service examination, last year also UPSC, ESC, they have asked some questions related to the report, right? So these are the top ranking. You need to remember, many of you might choose Sweden or other France, all those things, but the first rank was to Estonia, right? Estonia, then Luxembourg, Germany. Top 3 you need to remember. Top 3 countries which perform also is important, right? So Estonia, Luxembourg, Germany. Finland is 4, United Kingdom, Sweden, Norway, Austria, Switzerland, Denmark. So these are the top 10 countries. No need to worry about remembering each and every country, right? And the last was of Vietnam. Vietnam is in the last rank, and last before it is Pakistan, and India's rank is 176. So from last we are in the 5th rank. From last we are in the 5, and the actual rank is 176. So we are a very poor performer in this particular report. Out of 180 countries, we are in the 176th position, right? So this is about the data and ranking. Fine. So I hope no doubts, because this is a factual, very factual in nature. Arun 3 hydroelectric project. Arun 3 hydroelectric project. Recently, Prime Minister of Nepal has completed the last launch of this, last phase of this Arun 3 project, right? Hydropower project. That means it is generating the electricity from water. That is hydroelectricity project, right? Now let's see a little bit more details about it, which has been asked many times in the exam, and yes, there is a possibility to ask again. So this is a hydroelectric project which was to create the electricity approximately 900 megawatts. Yes, 900 megawatts of electricity is the aim to generate, and this hydropower project is constructed across the Arun river. So Arun is a river flowing in the Nepal, and this is one of the sub-tributaries of Ganga river, right? So this is a very important one, and it is a run-off river scheme. This is a run-off river project. That means there is no construction of any embankments or any other infrastructure things. It is just through flow of water. We are keeping the turbines and we are generating the electricity. There is no storage, there is no construction of big dams and all. It is just because of the flow of water, we have kept the turbines, and those turbines capture the speed and converts the electricity. So those are called as run-off river projects. Without any storage and all, just based on the natural flow of water, we were able to generate the electricity. Those are called as the run-off river projects. So this is one of the types of run-off river projects, and this is being built by SJVN Limited, which is of India. So India is a collaborative project of this Arun 3 project, and we are also taking this electricity. The target is to develop 900 megawatts, and out of that we are also taking by giving, of course, some money, right? So this is about the Arun 3 project. Any doubts in this? Next one, about QS World University Rankings. QS World University Rankings. Quakerel Simmons. So this is a private NGO which gives rankings. So this is also important a little bit. This has been asked recently in some railway exam. right? About the rankings and which university has topped and who has given this, all these things has been asked in the exam. So QS World University Rankings was released by Queckrell Simmons. This is the organization which releases it. And how they rank the universities, there are 9 performance indicators about the quality of education, infrastructure, teachers' performance. There are 9 total indicators, no need to remember. But yes, you need to remember that there are 9 performance index from this Queckrell Simmons ranking. Right? Now let's see about the top ranks and also which Indian universities are there. So this has been asked in the exam. Right? So among the top 5, first one, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA, MIT, right? It is located in the Cambridge, United States. Massachusetts Institute of Technology, it is near to Boston, if you are aware about USA. The score is 100 and it has been the first rank. First one you need to remember. Second one, Imperial College, London. So this is the second rank. This is also very important. This is mostly the students don't know about this university, right? They know university, Harvard, Cambridge University, Oxford University and all. But second rank went to the Imperial College in the United Kingdom. And the third rank, University of Oxford, again United Kingdom, and Harvard University, fourth, right, in the United States. Again Cambridge University, UK. So total 3 universities are from UK and 2 universities are from USA, right? Now coming to the Indian ranking, among the Indian universities, we have IIT Bombay with 118 rank. IIT Bombay is the best performer. And next is IIT Delhi with 150 rank. So 2 universities you can remember, they are performing at 118 and 150. Right? We are too far away when we compare to the Chinese, Japanese universities. There is a lot of Chinese, Japanese universities in top 20. Right? So we need to improve it in the coming days. So that is about the facts related to this, the articles related to the main issues. Now we have some factual pointers before solving the practice questions. First one, about the marine fungus called Perengidiotium. So this is a marine fungus which was known to have, which can eat the plastic. It can break down the plastic. Usually we need a lot of technology to break the plastic and recycle it. But this fungus seems to be having the capacity to break down the plastic. So it can capture the plastic waste, right? And then we can take this and we can easily recycle. So that is the issue. And the methodology it used was bioremediation. Bioremediation. Bio means life, any microorganisms if involved, that is called as bio, any living beings, right? And remediation means which can treat. So in this bioremediation process, it is a process where living organisms can capture the waste. So whatever the situation, whatever the process where living organisms can remove the waste from environment, that is called as bioremediation. It is a branch of biotechnology which we can deploy microorganisms, living microorganisms to clean the environment. So that approach is called as the bioremediation. And this bioremediation is being used by this marine fungus. So they will ask you why this name was recently in news, or they may ask you what is bioremediation as well. So these 2 things you have to remember. Next one, Global Annual to Decadal Climate Update Report was released by World Meteorological Organization. There is a big report, more than 100 pages. You don't need to worry. Just remember who has released this report. This is released by World Meteorological Organization, Global Annual to Decadal Climate Update. Next one, a World of Depth Report 2024. Again one more report, but yes, we do have 2 important data to be remembered. So this is the report released by United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD. This report was released by UNCTAD. It related to the depth. So understand, many people when they are reading the economics, there are 2 confusions. One is fiscal deficit. Other one is debt to GDP ratio. Many students confuse with these things, 2 things, fiscal deficit and debt to GDP ratio. Fiscal deficit means in that particular financial year, starting from April 1 to March 31. March 31. This is a financial year, right, or fiscal year. In this 1 year, whatever the government has came across with the debt or liabilities, whatever debts or liabilities it has created in that particular 1 year, that is called as fiscal deficit. Debt means it is a loan taking from someone else, right? Very simple thing. And liabilities means any what you call difficult, what we need to pay back. Liabilities means what we need to pay back. So any liabilities or debts taken by the government in this one particular year is called as fiscal deficit. And debt to GDP ratio means the debt that we have accumulated over the years since the independence, what Indian government has accumulated the debt. So all this fiscal deficit every year we are adding, so it is leading to the debt. So total debt means over the years, not just in the year 1 year, but whatever it is accumulating since the independence, that is called as the debt. And debt to GDP ratio means whatever the debt that is there with India per GDP of that particular year. For example, our GDP is 3.5 trillion every year, and our debt is approximately 2.8 trillion, lakh trillion, right? So, 2.8 trillion dollars. That means approximately 83% of GDP that we are producing every year is nothing but the debt, right? So these two difference you have to identify. Now coming to the data, the total public debt of all the world together, all the world nations together, the total debt is $97 trillion, right? So such a huge amount of debt accumulated over the years in all the countries together. And if you come to India specifically, India debt is 2.9 trillion. Yes, it is not 2.8, rather it is a 2.9 trillion dollars is India's total debt, which is accounting for 82% of our GDP. We are producing approximately 3.5 trillion dollars every year in terms of GDP. Out of the 2.9 trillion is itself is a debt, so which is 82.7%. So these figures are important, and the difference is also very important. I hope this is clear. Any doubts if you have, you can ask. What is NIRF? Can you tell me the full form, Santosh? Can you elaborate the full form? Because there is a lot of, shortcuts, there's a lot of things you need to remember. But what specific full form you are asking for, if you know, or if you could able to let me know, we'll discuss. Full form of NIRF. Else we'll move ahead with the practice questions. First question, which one of the following statements best describes the term bioremediation? Bioremediation. First one, enrichment of nutrient quality of the soil using biological agents. National Institute of Ranking Framework, it was launched by Ministry of Human Resource. Like our Ministry of Education, Ministry of Human Resource has launched the framework where they are ranking universities within India to encourage. Like they have taken different categories like medical, engineering, science, arts. They have taken different categories and they are ranking the Indian universities, both private and government universities. They are giving the rankings. The rankings are just to encourage the universities within India to better perform in the world level as well. So that was the initiative taken by the Ministry of Human Resources and Education, right? Pratham Srivastava, yes, you can watch if you are civil service aspirant. These are very important, and as these were the days where we are having political news, we are having very factual. But in the past months, we have discussed a lot of good articles also, which are useful for civil services. We are taking the articles from Hindu, Indian Express, PIB and few more for our preparation. So yes, for civil services, this is the most useful sessions. Especially these sessions are useful for UPSC civil service aspirants, UPSC engineering service aspirants as well. So for engineering service also there are 15 marks which will be coming for the current affairs. So for those two aspirants is the most important, and of course for others also we are covering the factual pointers for other level of exams like railways and other exams, right? Yes, you can watch it. Pratham Srivastava, yeah. So which one of the following statements best describe the term bioremediation? Enrichment of the nutrients quality of soil using the biological agents, increasing the yield of soil through biofertilizers, use of microorganisms to degrade the environment contaminants, increasing biotic potential of an aquatic region. So this is a very direct one. Most of you have answered this correct. Very good. So it is to use microorganisms to capture or reduce the waste in the environment, right? So Santosh, Alok, Malini, Sahana, Keshav, Srinath, and Ramya, everyone have answered this correct. Next question. Arun 3 hydroelectric project is a collaboration between India and which country they are asking? India and Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Myanmar. So this is how elimination techniques works. If you know from which through which country this Arun river is flowing, you can able to easily answer it. So what is the answer for this? Yes, it is a very direct question, that is of Nepal, right? So this flows through Nepal, and Arun 3 project is collaboration between India and Nepal. Yes, correct. Sahana, Santosh, Keshav, Rupali, everyone have answered this correct, right? Yeah, correct. Ramya, Srinath, Malini, everyone have answered this correct. Next one, about which of the following statements about Environmental Performance Index 2024 are correct? About Environmental Performance Index. It is released by United Nations Environmental Program. First statement. All the top 10 countries in the index are from Europe. This was taken from UPSC IES, Engineering Service Exam, ESC. ESC 2022, so 23. Last year itself they have given such type of statement. So I have directly copied. Let's see whether it is true or not. India is ranked at 176 in the report. So these are the three statements. Let's see. It is released by United Nations Environmental Program. Wrong. This is released by ALA Center, right? It is not related to the United Nations Environmental Program. All the top 10, okay, this, let's see third statement. Yes, it is ranked 176, India's rank, last or 5 from the last. So third statement also correct. So we have the 3. The second statement, all top 10 countries in the index are from Europe. So this is also correct. All the 10 countries, if you see the list, all the 10 countries, 1 to 10, Estonia is from Europe, Luxembourg, Germany, Finland, United Kingdom, Sweden, Norway, Austria, Switzerland, Denmark, all these are from European continent. So answer is B, as the second statement is also correct. So only one person have answered this correct, that is Sahana Asmin have answered this correct. Rest of all the people have answered it as a C. Correct, Alok. Alok has also answered yes, correct. Next question, with reference to antimicrobial resistance, which of the following statements is correct? With regard to the antimicrobial resistance, they are asking which statement is correct. Antimicrobial resistance cannot spread from person to person. This is the first statement. Lack of access to clean water, sanitation and hygiene for both humans and animals can be driving factor for the occurrence of AMR. Second statement. Santosh, you can consider it as a part of Europe. Whenever the country is not completely part of Europe, then only you can reject, right, the statement. It is asking all the countries are from the Europe. So yes, Denmark is part, certain part of Denmark is within the Greenland, and that is part of USA. But anyway, as it is also part of Europe, you can see the official Europe countries also, you have to take it as a correct only, right? So second statement is this. Third statement, due to their favorable genetical makeup, antimicrobial resistance is not fatal in South Asians. So in the South Asian people, they are not fatal, they are saying, because of the genetical makeup of the population. AMR can be caused due to the misuse and overuse of antimicrobials for humans. So they are asking which one is correct. So this is actually cannot be. This is cannot be. This is not can. AMR cannot be caused due to the misuse and overuse of antimicrobials for humans. So they are asking about the correct statements. It cannot spread through person to person. Wrong. It can be spread. That's what travel we have seen. Other disease like H5N2, don't confuse with that discussion. That was not spreading from person to person, but antimicrobial person, it can transfer from person to person. So this is a wrong statement. Lack of access to clean water, sanitation and hygiene both drives this. Yes. So this is the correct statement. Third one, due to favorable genetical makeup, it is not fatal in South Asia. No, South Asia is one of the most prone one for the disease, spread of this AMR. AMR cannot cause due to the misuse and overuse of antimicrobial substance. This actually is a wrong statement. So answer is B. Correct. Yasmin, Malini, Alok and Santosh, Srinath has answered it as correct. Fine. Last question for today. Which of the following statements is incorrect about bird flu? H5N1 or H&N series, whatever. So they are asking about the incorrect statements about the bird flu. Let's see what the statements they have given. Bird flu is also known as avian influenza. This is the first statement. They are asking incorrect. It can be caused by H5N1 virus. It is a non-communicable disease. It can be transmitted to human beings. So incorrect they are asking. What is the answer for this? First statement, yes, correct. Avian influenza. H5N1 virus is also correct. It can be transmitted to human beings. Yes, yes. It is also, it is a non-communicable. They are saying it is a communicable. It can be caused from contact with the birds, right? Any communication with the birds can lead to the disease, right? So this is about the, yes, correct. Santosh, Sahana, Ramya, Malini, Alok, Keshav has answered it as correct, right? So that is of today's session, though it is a factual, but we have a very important data to be remembered. I hope you have enjoyed the session. So try to revise those things and take care. Have a great evening. Thank you.